In a modest town encircled by rolling hills, there lived a boy named Ethan who attended the neighborhood school. He was simply an average boy, no different from his peers. He spent his days playing with companions, hearing the songs of birds, and gazing at the drifting clouds above. This was the small universe he inhabited. However, there was one particular thing that troubled him deeply: his studies. Regardless of how much effort he put in, he simply couldn't grasp his schoolwork. His fellow students would frequently mock his errors, which only deepened Ethan's distress. Gradually, he began losing faith in his own abilities. One afternoon, when classes had ended, Mr. Harris, the philosophy instructor, remained sitting by himself in the classroom. Ethan approached him tentatively, uncertainty weighing on him. Speaking barely above a whisper, he said, "Sir, there's something I need to discuss with you." Mr. Harris gave a gentle nod and responded, "Please have a seat. What's troubling you?" Ethan remained silent briefly before speaking. "Sir, I'm truly terrible at my studies. Nothing stays in my memory and I cannot concentrate properly. To be honest, I feel completely without hope. I was wondering if you might offer me some guidance." Mr. Harris offered a kind smile and replied, "Let me tell you something, Ethan. You're far from alone in this. Countless students face the very same struggle. However, if your desire to improve is genuine, you absolutely can. I'm about to share with you 5 straightforward yet transformative techniques that will enhance your concentration and revolutionize your approach to learning. The first lesson is to settle your mind. Mr. Harris handed Ethan a glass container full of cloudy water. "Tell me what you observe," he inquired. Ethan answered, "Murky water, sir." "Very well, now we'll set it aside for a while and observe what occurs." Rupson. An hour passed, and the sediment sank to the base while the water turned transparent. "And what do you see now?" the teacher questioned. Ethan's eyes widened with surprise as he responded, "The water has become clear now, sir." "Precisely," Mr. Harris continued. "Our minds function in exactly this manner. When they're overwhelmed with anxiety, worry, or excessive thoughts, clear thinking becomes impossible. Therefore, before beginning your studies, shut your eyes for 5 minutes and concentrate solely on each breath you take. This practice will settle your mind and enhance your capacity to absorb knowledge." The second lesson is to anchor yourself in the present moment. Mr. Harris set a burning candle upon the desk. Observe this flame carefully and attempt to maintain your attention exclusively on it. Allow no stray thoughts to intrude. Initially, Ethan found concentration impossible. His thoughts kept wandering to his companions, his anxieties about upcoming examinations, and countless other things. Yet gradually, his focus remained fixed solely on the flickering flame. "You see," Mr. Harris explained, "what has passed is gone, and what lies ahead has not yet arrived. All we truly possess is this present instant. Therefore, when your attention drifts while studying, kindly guide it back to what's before you. Make this a daily practice." The third lesson is to seek comprehension rather than rote memorization. Mr. Harris presented Ethan with a sponge and a stone. He then drizzled water over both objects. The sponge absorbed the water completely, while the water simply slid off the stone's surface. Certain students merely attempt to commit everything to memory. They resemble the stone, the teacher elaborated. However, the students who strive to understand, who visualize concepts and absorb knowledge through practical examples, they resemble the sponge. The information they learn stays with them, so make it your goal always to understand rather than simply memorize. The fourth lesson is to divide your learning into manageable portions. Mr. Harris presented Ethan with a large chunk of wood and instructed, "Attempt to break this apart." Ethan exerted considerable effort, but found it impossible to break. The teacher then divided the block into smaller segments. At last, it shattered. "Complex subjects cannot be mastered all at once," Mr. Harris stated. "Separate them into smaller sections. Dedicate a little time to studying each day. Allow yourself brief intervals of rest, then resume your studies. This approach will prevent mental exhaustion and make learning far more manageable." The fifth lesson is to maintain consistent practice. Mr. Harris planted seeds in a pair of containers. He provided water to one daily, while neglecting the other entirely. Several days later, the regularly watered pot displayed a young seedling emerging, while the neglected one remained barren. When you dedicate even a small amount of time daily to your education, you will witness progress, the teacher clarified. However, if you study on one occasion and then neglect it for the following 3 days, no improvement will come. Commit to practice each day, even if only for 20 minutes. Throughout the following weeks, Ethan implemented each technique Mr. Harris had taught him. Initially, the transformation was barely noticeable, but with time, he realized he could sit down and study with greater effectiveness. Topics that once confused him became easier to comprehend, and his fear began to dissolve. His academic performance began showing improvement. Above all else, he developed a genuine appreciation for the learning process. Half a decade later, Ethan has achieved considerable success in his life. He frequently reflects on how the most valuable lessons he ever learned came from that particular day when his philosophy teacher revealed 5 simple methods that transformed his learning journey forever. And for you as well. If you find yourself struggling with your studies or any challenge in life, take that brave step forward, just as Ethan did. Maintain a peaceful mind, focus on true understanding, and commit to regular practice. The small steps you take today will eventually blossom into significant accomplishments. Your faith in yourself and your dedicated effort will prove to be the most powerful instruments for achieving success. If this story resonated with you and you believe others should hear it, please show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. And remember to subscribe to our channel to continue this journey with us. I will return once more with another story that inspires. Until that time, practice patience.